Okay, good evening, everyone. We're continuing with 4 minutes of Mishlei. We're up to Perek Chavav. We're getting awfully close to the end of the Sefer. And in Perek Chavav, chapter 26, there's a few different psukim that I want to highlight and to learn together with you. So one of them is a phrase, it's a pasuk, but it reminds me of a phrase that a lot of people say if they'll say something negative or they'll say something that's a zinger or a one-liner or like a harsh comment. They'll just say, I was just joking. So it actually comes up in this Perek. So Perek, Chavav, Pasuk, Yudches, and Yutes. The Pasuk says, Kimis lahalea hayore, like a madman who is throwing zikim chitzim v'mavis, firebrands and arrows and death. Kain ish rima esre'eu. So is a person who deceives his friend. V'amar halo misachikani. And he says, I was just joking. I was maybe firing some lines, some arrows at whoever, but I didn't really mean it. I was just joking. So the Rambam in Hilchas Deos, in Perek Zayin, Halacha Daled, he says that this falls under the category of avak lashon hara. There's lashon hara, which is negative speech about a particular person. It's true. It's still considered lashon hara. I say that's considered. If I say it to somebody else, it's considered lashon hara. But there's also another category, which is the dust of lashon hara, avak lashon hara. It's not lashon hara proper, but it, we would say maybe in Yiddish it schmecks like lashon hara. It smells a little like lashon hara. And he quotes this pasuk. He says this is what Shlomo HaMelech means when he uses that pasuk, and he says China misaper b'lashon hara derech schok v'derech kalas rosh. You say it in just a joking manner. I think there's an old English proverb, I don't know where it comes from, but many a true word is spoken in jest, which is basically that there's a lot. If you could just say, I was just joking, well, the truth of the matter is that maybe you feel bad and you don't want to say it, it's socially unacceptable to really just insult somebody, but there is truth in what you said. So therefore you have to be very careful, even with something that is said in a joking manner. I was wondering, why do we compare it to these arrows that someone's shooting an arrow? So this is my own suggestion, but perhaps because an arrow, it hits the person, but the person who fires the arrow remains distant and in a safe place. So when you're using humor to try to dispel some of the tension that's uncomfortable, maybe to openly say it, so you just say, I'm just joking, so the person evades the other by saying, oh, I was just joking, oh, you really meant, oh, you're taking it too seriously, oh, you're so... It's really you. They're trying to avoid and evade the fact that they just shot an arrow into your heart. But they're saying, oh, no, you really care about that? You can't take a joke. Come on. So that's maybe kind of what the person who fires the arrow, they stand in a safe place. They evade the person, but they shoot the arrow nonetheless. Another pasuk is the pasuk of Zayin. It says, Kore shachas ba yipol. That person who digs a pit, in that pit he will fall. V'golel even elav tashuv, and he who rolls a stone will have it turn back and roll back on him. And Rashi says, he gives a couple examples, that Bilam gave an advice to Balak to have the daughters of Minyan cause Israel to sin, and then eventually he gets killed by the Jewish people. And then when he comes to Minyan, and he gives another example that Avimelech, who killed 70 of his brothers on stone, eventually he gets killed by a stone. The basic idea that Rashi says is that this is midah keneged midah. It's a person thinks that they're going to get ahead, they think they're going to do something, to maybe get an edge on other people, but we know that Hashem controls the world, and even if, at least at first glance, the wicked prosper, but what goes around comes around. And perhaps it's more than irony that you get, dug the pit and you fall in. It's not just ironic, but rather there's an expression of divine justice that even if we don't always see it go that way, we believe that even though the wicked may prosper momentarily or even for a long period of time in this world, there still is a higher world. There's a schar v'onesh, there's reward and punishment, and ultimately the wicked will never succeed.